just us.
I had a dream about you last night. Your eyes were shining so bright. Those lips and that bittersweet smile. I need this forever.
Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hi, my name is Lamia, and thank you so much for coming to my channel and clicking on this video. Today I'm going to be showing you guys this super glam prom half-cut crease with a bold red lip. I definitely wanted to do something a little bit more neutral this year. If you guys watched my collab last year with Cassandra, then you would know that I did a more rose gold half-cut crease, super shimmery, black in the outer corner, and I feel like this is kind of similar, but I wanted to make sure to do something that would match a lot of different prom dresses and different colors. It's a lot more neutral than last year. And then obviously if you don't want to do the red lip and it clashes with your dress, then you can do a nude lip. And this look is a recreation of one of Brickell's makeup looks. I feel like I recreate her looks a lot, but I just love her makeup so much. I think she's so talented. Also, this video is in collab again with one of my best friends here on YouTube. Her name is Cassandra, and I absolutely love her. She's so sweet and so down to earth. We did collab for last prom season as well, and I'm so excited to be doing it again this year, kind of making it like a little tradition, which is so much fun. So you guys should definitely go check out her look after this video and go show her some love and subscribe to her channel because she's so amazing. I already did see her prom look, and let me tell you, it's bomb and you guys are gonna love it, so definitely go check it out after you watch this video. But before we do get into this tutorial, if you guys like me and you like my channel, then please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe. And if you are from Cassandra's channel, then thank you so much for coming over here. It's tons of fun. I promise you will not regret it. And yeah, that's pretty much enough rambling for this intro. So if you guys want to see how I got this prom makeup look, then please keep watching. So before I do get started today, I do want to let you guys know that my throat is kind of hurting me today. I don't think it's going to hinder my voice at all, but just in case I do sound a little bit different, I wanted to let you guys know. So I obviously already did my eyebrows off camera. I used two products. I used the Maybelline Brow Precise Pencil in Soft Brown. I also used the Maybelline Brow Precise Fiber Volumizer, and this is in Soft Brown as well. I just kind of used this as a brow gel just to hold my brows into place. So we are going to start with our eyes today. That way we can clean up the eye look with the concealer afterwards, and also that way in case we get any fallout, we can just clean it off and then go in with the foundation. That way it doesn't mess up our base. To prime my eyes today, I'm going to be using my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and this Let's See 235 blending brush just to buff it all around my lid. You definitely want to make sure to spend a little bit of extra time buffing out your eye primer or your concealer on your lids, because if this isn't blended out and buffed out properly, then everything on top of it is going to be patchy. And then I'm going to go ahead and set my lids with the Laura Mercier translucent powder. I kind of wanted to go for like a matte prom look today, more of like a classic matte look with neutral tones and then maybe like a bright red lip. It was taking me a while. I was going through like a few picture ideas to figure out what look I was going for, but I found this really pretty picture of Brickell on Instagram. I feel like I take a lot of inspiration from her looks and I recreate a lot of her looks as well. I just think she's so talented and I love them. But this is what the look looks like, so you guys can see. It's on her Instagram as well, which I'll have linked down below. Obviously, it's probably not gonna look as good as hers, but I'm gonna try my best. I honestly think that this is like a perfect prom look for prom season. It's just so classic and it'll go with any dress. I'm gonna be using my Tartelette in Bloom palette. I might end up grabbing the Jaclyn Hill palette just because I feel like every single eye look needs the Jaclyn Hill palette. It's so good. But I am going to be using the Tartelette in Bloom palette first, and I actually love this palette. I feel like it has such great pigmentation. I feel like the shadows are so blendable, and I feel like it just has like a lot of good neutral transition shades. The first shade that I'm going to go in with in this palette is the shade Smarty Pants. Just a nice nude transition shade. So I'm going to take this onto my Morphe M441 and distribute this all into my crease. And I'm going to make sure to take this shade all the way from my inner corner to my outer corner because we are going to be half cutting the crease like by Brickell's. So we want to make sure that we have it evenly distributed throughout the entire crease. So I was going to go in with this shade right here called Rebel, but I feel like it's a little bit too reddish undertoned for the neutral eye that I want to do. I mean, it is still neutral, but I want it again to match every single colored dress. So I wanted more of like a truer brown shade for my crease. So I'm gonna go in with the shade Spray Tan right here from the Take Me on Vacation palette from Kylie Cosmetics. I honestly never use this palette, but this is definitely a good shade for what I want to use it for. And then I'm just going back in with the Morphe M441 and just blending out all of the harsh edges and making sure that both of the shades blend together nicely. So I'm actually going to stay in the same palette, and I'm going to take the shade Palm Tree, which is just this dark brown up here. And I'm also going to place that over top, but I'm going to focus it a little bit more towards the outer V of my eye. But I'm going to make sure not to put on too much at once. I'm just going to keep adding a little bit and blending it out and adding more until I get it as deep as I would like. And to place this shade into my crease, I'm using my Luxie 235 blending brush. And I'm also going to go into the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm going to take this brown shade right here. I don't know what it's called because I don't have the name sheet, but I feel like this one is just kind of turning maybe a little bit muddy. So I want to see if I can bring out a little bit more of the brown shade with this color right here. So I'm just going to kind of alternate between the Morphe M433 and the Luxie 235 blending brush and see if I can get a little bit more of a true brown shade in my crease. I'm going to go ahead and take the shade Flower Child onto my Morphe M170-4 and kind of put this underneath my brow, and also try and clean up where the shadow might have been taken up a little bit too high. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the crease now, but we're not going to be doing a full cut crease. We're just going to cut it halfway, and to do so I'm going to be using my Tarte Shape Tape Concealer and the Morphe M170-4. And then when you have that harsh line with the concealer, you can kind of just take your finger and blend it in with the eyeshadow. A trick that I'm doing to half cut my crease, I'm just kind of placing the concealer at the bottom of my lid, right kind of near my lash line. And then if you just look up, it'll kind of show you a guide as to where you should cut your crease. And then you can just kind of go in with that same Luxie blending brush and blend out the edges. Once my crease is cut, I'm going to go back in with the Flower Child shade in the Tarlet in Bloom palette and a flat shader brush, and I'm going to place this all over where we put the concealer. I know I'm jumping around palettes a lot, but I do want to go in with one more shade for my outer V. I'm going to go into the Master by Mario palette, and I'm going to take the brown shade called Violetta, and I'm going to take this onto my Luxie 231 brush, and I'm just going to place this kind of on my outer V, and I'm also going to kind of bring it down to the outer part of my upper lash line. I'm going to go back into the Jaclyn Hill palette and take this first shade right here onto my Morphe M170-4, and I'm going to place this on my inner corner and my brow bone. So I was going to do like a smoked winged liner, but I feel like since I'm going to be cleaning this up and it's going to give me a winged out shape anyway, since the outer V is so intense, I'm just going to kind of do a smoked out black liner that's not a wing, that just kind of fades out into the outer corner where the brown is. I'm going to take this Pixi Endless Silky Eye Pen in black, and I'm just going to kind of run it across my upper lash line. It doesn't need to be too precise, but just make sure it's not too thick because you are going to be buffing it out, which is going to make it thicker. And then to buff out the liner, I'm just going to be using the Sigma E30 brush, and then I'll probably go in with the same brush and take a black shadow and just kind of lay it on top and add to the smoke. After I've done my smoke liner, I'm going to go ahead and move on to lashes, but before I put on my falsies, I'm going to go ahead and curl my regular lashes and apply mascara. And for lashes today, I wanted something wispy but not too intense to where it's going to cover the eyeshadow that we just did. So I decided I'm going to use my Huda Beauty Samantha lashes, and I'm just going to go ahead and apply these off camera, and then I'll be right back. So for primer today, I'm going to be using the Too Faced Hangover Primer, and take a few pumps of this and spread it evenly with my hands. So I want the skin to look extra glowy and dewy today, so I'm going to be using the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, and I'm going to blend this all around my face with my damp black beauty blender. And I'm actually in the shade 6 right now, but that's because I just self-tanned. Since my foundation is a lot more lightweight and it's not a full coverage foundation, I do want concealer that is full coverage and is going to cover a lot of my under eyes and is going to be heavy duty. So I'm going to be using the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, and mine is in the shade Light Medium Honey. And I'm also going to be blending this in with my black beauty blender, and I'm going to clean up the outside or the outer corner of my eyeshadow with this, just so we can get a sharper line. It's going to give us that winged out effect. And to set all of the concealer in place, I'm going to go in with my Laura Mercier translucent powder. But before I set underneath my eyes, I'm going to go back in and kind of blend to make sure that there's no creases that happens while we were blending the rest of the concealer. And then once they're blended, I'm going to go ahead and set my under eyes. I'm also going to set everywhere else that we put the concealer, so my chin, my smile lines, my nose, and my forehead. I know it's a little bit excessive, but since it is prom and you are going to be dancing for hours, then you want to make sure that your under eyes are put and are not going to crease. So I'm going to go ahead and take some of my powder again and just place it underneath my eyes. And then before I go in with contour, I'm actually gonna go in with a face powder. I really don't do this often, but again, since it is prom, you wanna make sure that everything is set. So I'm going to take the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish Natural and my Morphe MB2 brush, and I'm just going to place this only in the places where I'm going to contour, so right along kind of underneath my cheekbones and then the top of my forehead. And I'm kind of just patting this in. I'm not really swirling around. And the reason I'm only trying to set where we're going to contour is because we do kind of still want it to look glowy, and if we set our entire face then we're obviously mattifying it. So I'm just setting the places that I really need to set. And for contour, I'm going to take the Hoola Bronzer by Benefit. This one has Manny on the front. It's so cute. I love this packaging. But anyway, I'm just going to take this onto my Morphe M523 and I'm going to contour along underneath my cheekbones, the top of my forehead, underneath my jawline. And I'm also going to bake underneath my contour. And then with the Sigma E55 eye shading brush, I'm going to contour my nose, underneath my lip, and in between my Cupid's bow. And then I'm also going to bake down the sides of my nose, right along my nose contour. I'm of course going to be using my go-to blush, the blush that I literally use in every single tutorial. I'm going to be using the Benefit Dallas Box Blush, and to apply this, I'm going to be using my Morphe MB4. I'm also going to go ahead and wipe away the bake underneath my contour and under my eyes and on the sides of my nose. And you really want to make sure you get off all your bake, or else you're going to have a white cast in your pictures, which is not good. For my under eyes, I'm first going to go back into the Tartelette and Bloom palette and take the shade Smarty Pants onto my Morphe M210 brush, and I'm just going to place this underneath my lower lash line. And I'm also going to try and connect the lower lash line to kind of where the upper lash line is and kind of where this winged out shape is. That way the eyeshadow is just kind of seamlessly blended together from the top and the bottom. I'm then going to take my Morphe E36 pencil brush and the shade Violetta from the Master Palette by Mario, and I'm going to put this right underneath my lower lash line as well. And if you wanted to add a black liner into your bottom waterline, then you definitely could, but honestly I just don't feel like adding one there today because I feel like my eyes look a lot more open like this. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply some mascara to my bottom lashes. So now for a highlighter, I'm of course going to be using my new favorite highlighter, the Anastasia and Amrezy highlighter. And to apply this, I'm going to be using my Anastasia A23 brush, but I'm just going to be using this brush for my cheekbones, and then for my nose highlight, I'm going to be using the Morphe M170-4. I've literally been using this brush for everything in this tutorial, but I don't have a red lip liner and I still want to line my lips before applying my red lipstick. So I'm going to take this CoverGirl lipstick, it's in the shade Hot Passion, and I'm going to take this small Morphe lip brush and I'm going to use this to line my lips. I'm just going to kind of dab a little bit of the lipstick onto the brush and then line the outer perimeter of my lips with it. Once I have my lips lined, I'm going to go ahead and apply the lipstick. So I'm going to be using the Lime Crime Velveteen, and this one is in the shade Red Velvet. So I wouldn't recommend using this spray just because it's not actually a setting spray. I would probably recommend something like the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray because that's really going to make sure that your makeup stays on all night. But since I'm about to take this off anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and use the Mario Badescu facial spray with aloe, cucumber, and green tea. So that's basically it for this prom makeup tutorial. I hope you guys got some inspiration for your prom looks this year. Obviously, you guys can substitute the lip again for something that'll match your dress, maybe a little bit more, but I feel like the eye is so classic and will definitely go with a ton of your dresses. But I'm going to go ahead and let you go so you guys can go watch my girl Cassandra's makeup tutorial. It is so bomb, and I promise you guys are not going to want to miss it. It's probably on the screen somewhere right now, so go ahead and click on it. But thank you guys so much for watching my video again, and I hope to see you guys next time.